Hey, good morning, everybody. Inspiration by Brad. Man, I got one that's just gonna. This is one that's gonna. It's called a brain teaser. Okay, your brain. If your brain is so important as everyone wants you to believe, then why don't you take it with you when you die? Huh? Has anybody ever thought of that? Why don't you take it with you? There's some pretty deep-seated beliefs about the brain and what it's capable of. We think we're not smart enough, or we're somewhat limited in what we can achieve. Truth is, beliefs are based on misconceptions. Did you know that the idea that we only use about 10% of our brain, that's completely false? It's a myth. Science has debunked that time and time and time again. And then there's this intelligence, or the idea that our intelligence, that it's fixed, that we're born with a certain level of smarts. And that's it. Again, that's not true. Our brains are incredibly adaptable. Now, science would like you to believe that with the right mindset and all of these practices that they want you to go through, that you can train, and you can train your brain. Train the brain. But let's talk a little bit deeper, shall we? Let's talk a little bit deeper about that. Once again, if your brain is so important, why aren't you taking it with you when you leave? Putting all the death and existing someplace else, set all that aside. Another discussion. We're talking about the brain right here. My theory is this. There's a pool of what I want to call thought that exists all around us, in the energy that's all around us. There is no empty space around us. It's all thought. It's all energy. Science has proved this with their little gadgets and their little gauges that flop all over everywhere and tell you that this plant has this and this plant has that and this rock has this energy and this human being has this energy and this human being over and this object. Everything's got energy to it. Well, out there within the energy, in between the energy, what is that? It's thought. My idea and my philosophy is your brain is just the mechanism that attracts that thought. You cannot have a thought. You can't have a thought without a thought already existing. The brain does not create thought. It receives thought. And it transfers that through your body. Some people want to think of the God theory. And this is not a religious discussion. But what if you replaced the word God with thought? Then everything would be thought in some form or another, because you think about it. So that would mean everything that there is has a thought or is made up of thought, and then everything that you do in your life, everything that you attract in your life, everything that you think about in your life would come from those thoughts. Is that not correct? If that theory is true, then all you would have to do is change your thoughts. Because if you attract into your life everything that you think about, and your brain processes it and collects it, then you could only attract into your life what you think about. So, change your thoughts. Think differently. And we'll talk about that to greater detail in some of our next discussions. Thanks for being with me, folks, today. Inspiration by Brad. Have a great day.